Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. Today we are reviewing Put a Ring on It, Season 1, Episode 6. And this episode is called Feeding the Flames. Whew. Some flames in this episode.
Flames.
Before we get started, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so since last week's cliffhanger was Mike.
Is Mike going on a third date?
We found out
Whitney. Yes, he is. You go ahead, boy.
Speaking of third dates with Whitney. Well, no, this was at the end of the episode, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it out.
Go ahead.
Hollywood was like, they go together.
Right. Right. Hollywood was like, they go together. They together.
Mm-hmm. So since we started with Mike and Shea because he was the cliffhanger, we'll just ease on into that.
Yeah.
So Shea went on her date before Mike went on his. So Shea went on a date with Rick. Getting ready for this date, Mike was like, "You doing too much."
Right. Like, I feel him though. I felt like she had her sides out. She probably wasn't wearing no drawers.
She wasn't.
She wasn't.
Where would the strap for them have been?
I don't know.
Exactly.
She ain't have no drawers on, and she going out on a date. Like, what you getting all sexy for? And Rick came with plain Jane.
Yeah,
polo and some jeans.
Like, I can't remember what Shea wore on her last date. I remember it being a dress, though.
It was yellow, I believe.
Yeah, it was a dress. It was a tight dress or a fitted dress, because I feel like people think that I'm being too much of a prude talking about what Whitney had on.
I don't know.
But Shea has consistently worn like more revealing clothes than any of the other ladies going out on dates. And Mike is like, nah.
I honestly felt like Mike was acting
when he said nah.
Yeah. Like that whole little, oh, you trying to get sexy and blah, this, and I felt like that was forced. Like, cause I feel like Mike, I feel like Hollywood when it comes to Mike and Whitney, like they together, man. Because I don't want to jump the gun, but we'll talk about it when we talk about their date.
It's coming up.
But yeah, I feel like that was kind of forced for him, you know.
Yeah, but in the offside of that, the other side of that, I don't think Shea went shopping for this date. I think this was something that she had in her closet. And so she just put on what she had in her closet. Yeah. And Mike can't act like he's never seen these outfits before.
He can't act like she doesn't dress like that all the time. So that's one of the reasons why I felt like it was forced. But I think one of the interesting things was that when Rick, right? Mm-hmm. When Rick showed up to the apartment, he was at first Mike just closed the door and was like, no, but then he invited him in and basically they sat down and Mike was like, hey, she's still in a relationship. Be respectful. As you know, and as such, mm-hmm. Because he doesn't feel like she's gonna respect. What I got from that conversation from him was, look, she's still in a relationship, and that was being said because he doesn't feel like she was gonna respect the fact that they were still in a relationship, which brings another issue.
I'm saying that's a total problem when. I mean, yes, this is a process. Okay, cool, whatever. We're going out on dates with other people. But if I can't expect you to be respectful of our relationship while you're out with someone else,
why am I going to be in a relationship?
Why would I be in a relationship with you?
Right.
Because what if it was a situation of we weren't doing this, but like you and one of your friends went out and a guy tried to talk to you? Are you going to be respectful in that situation? Right. So, you know, it is what it is.
And that's what I got from that. Just only because of how spiteful Shea is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a tit for tat thing with her, and so that's where that conversation, in my eyes, seemed to come from.
Absolutely. So on the date with Rick, I can't remember where they went. I know
I was trying to figure it out myself.
I think I saw it, but I didn't write it down.
They just went out to,
it was like a bar and lounge type situation, but it was in the daytime.
Yeah.
So we learned that Rick played basketball outside of the country, and Rick does not have kids.
Right.
We did find out about his last relationship being long distance.
Yeah.
And he is, I don't remember what the time frame was, but he's sort of kind of new to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Which it's funny, you didn't do this, but I think almost everybody I know when they moved here ended up doing something for television.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You gotta remember, I went out on a blind date for TV.
I remember that.
So it's like when you move here, it's like, oh, they pay you to do this? All right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I didn't get that bug.
Well, you didn't go out in the city either. But, okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we did find out that Shea does not want to have children. I don't know if we already knew that or not, but I didn't.
No, I don't think she ever mentioned that she didn't want kids until this episode. She just mentioned not wanting Mike's kid there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's always interesting, and interesting conversation to have anyway. So
I also
did she ask for his number?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which again, violating rules that y'all said.
Right, that they said.
But back to the kid situation. Rick outright said he wants to have kids. He wants to get married. He wants to have a family. And I can see now why Mike is like, this is all of a sudden. Because Shea says the right things to hook a man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm willing to look past that, but she's really not.
Right.
And I think that that's one of the things, like, she needs to be forthcoming about her feelings, because there is a man around her age who doesn't have kids, who doesn't want to have kids, or has adult kids and is okay.
Yeah.
I won't say around her age with adult kids, because that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it could. Adult kids like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah. But
wait, she's younger than us.
Yeah,
anyway, go ahead.
But I think that she could land herself in a situation that could be exactly what she wants.
Yeah. But
she has to be truthful in saying, look, I don't want kids. I don't want your kids either. Right. So, I mean,
let's move past
Let's just move past this. But it's going to be difficult if she decides in a few years that she does.
That's the weird thing, man. You want to be married, but then you don't want to have children, which I know some people do get married and don't have children, but most of the people that I know want to get married, want to have children. I don't know too many people that don't want children.
Well,
if I even know one person.
I look at it as, and we both have people in our lives that are like this. I guess it's collectively our lives at this point, who married women or married men that have kids, and then they never had kids with their spouse. Maybe Shea at one point thought that was going to be her life with Mike. Yeah. But she also wanted the kid to be at a distance as to not have to deal with it. Which doesn't make sense.
Like, in my head, I've already put Mike with Whitney, and Shea is just out here thought bopping. So, I mean, because after the kid thing, it's like, what are we talking about?
I mean, but we have to look at it that we're not those people.
Right.
Because we decided to have children.
Yeah.
Or a child, because that's all we got right now.
Yeah.
But everybody's not like that, and that's okay.
No, that's totally fine. But in my opinion, I've put Mike with Whitney, which...
Let's talk about Mike and Whitney.
Right.
So they went on a date in the park. During this time, they spoke about his issues with Shea. I'm a little, and we'll get into that on someone else's date as well. But I'm a little kind of like, I don't want to talk about my current with my potential future.
I think the most like the conversation that was had between them was Whitney's kind of out here.
No, definitely. And I think that was something in the preview for the next episode that she said. She was just like, I'm gonna have to remove myself because I'm out here.
Yeah. And it's you looking at it and Mike's trying to figure it out himself at their date and everything like that. And they're trying to get to know each other, but it's hard where they can't text each other and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So,
but one of y'all in the comments, and I need to remember names the next time we want to bring it up.
You should write them down.
I'm just going to start screenshotting. No worries. I don't write anything. But one of you guys was talking about your husband and how he didn't call your house and things like that when you were still living at home, but he still found a way to communicate with you, like coming to your job. If you want to talk to that person, you will find a way to talk to that person. Right. So I don't want Shea to think that she was stopping anything by setting a rule.
But I'm just saying, if he did that, wouldn't that be considered cheating?
I mean,
or wouldn't that be looked upon as cheating?
But what's she doing?
I don't know what she doing. Not wanting his child in the home with him.
Here you go.
Anyway, but they did have a pretty nice date.
They were feeding strawberries and grapes.
Yeah.
I felt like that was cheating.
Lord Jesus.
Tommy, if another man was putting food in my mouth, you would be
punch him in the mouth. I will punch him in the mouth.
You'd be out here mad. So yes, it's cheating.
I mean, but if I agreed for y'all to go out on a date, which I doubt I would do,
it's cheating.
Just don't tell me.
You ain't got to say it's on TV.
Anyway, they had a nice date.
So at the ending of this, Mike decided that he was going on a 4th date with Whitney, and Hollywood yelled out, I call that a relationship.
Hollywood can't keep it in no longer, man.
Hollywood and Ashley's faces.
Oh, man.
Are everything throughout these episodes.
Vince too.
Ashley's more so when Shea is speaking.
Yeah.
She's like.
She knows. She knows, man.
And Shea also let Rick get a second date. I
think that was done because she knows. She knew Mike was going on the 4th. Mm-hmm. It's a tit for tat thing with her, and I think that's what it was.
And see, I probably would have tried to meet a new guy if I was gonna do tit for tat. Like, I can add yet another number to my phone while you over here just focusing on this one girl. I got options, but she not thinking like
player
that.
Like you, huh? Don't hate the game, hate the player.
A girl gotta have options.
Oh, get that. Stop it.
All right, next up is Ashley and Hollywood. So we started out this episode discussing Hollywood's issues. Maybe issues isn't the right word, but his mother's struggles with parenting. He said some things that really broke my heart. Like, his mama left him at the park.
Yeah.
She would call his dad.
Yeah, I was gonna say she was doing that stuff
him.
to get attention from his dad or something like that, right?
And like that really broke my heart, because it's one of those things where you look at it like, hey, that person don't want to be with you. Let it go. Right. And if you have to let this child go and live with that person to absolve yourself of things, like, I think that we frown upon moms not having their kids, but sometimes you have to let trauma in your life go in other ways, like in unconventional ways or untraditional ways. And that, I'm sure, has given Hollywood a bit of trauma.
Oh, for sure.
So Hollywood went on a date with Tasha. He had on a banana shirt. It was like, you like my bananas? I miss Louisiana so much.
Man, Hollywood said a prayer.
He did with both of them.
With both of them.
As he was looking at Tasha's butt. Like he kept stopping and doing this. And looking at her booty.
Her booty.
So Hollywood and Tasha went on a date in the park. It appeared that they just went on a walk.
Yeah.
Which Tasha was a little bit too dressed up
for
the walk in the park. Yeah. Which I'm wondering,
they went and got some food too.
Oh, they did get food?
Okay. They didn't show it, but they went and got some food.
Okay, I was gonna say she was too dressed up for just a walk in the park. But if they went out to eat and then decided to walk in the park, I get it. Makes sense. That's all I really had to say.
Yeah, he didn't like the date either. He was like, she was more focused on Ashley than him.
Mm-hmm. She wanted to know a lot about their relationship and what was going on, which I can see that, especially if you meet the person.
Yeah.
Because she did come in and she met Ashley. So when you meet this person, especially like you look at Ashley, you like, she's nice, she's pretty. What's the problem? Yeah. Because it has to be you.
Right. It's got to be something, you know? But before we even go any further, I feel like Ashley is the only one that's actually dating people. Or actually going out on dates.
Like going out on dates and actually like attempting to make connections with people. And she's like, no. Maybe. Yeah. Probably, perhaps.
Because all her dates, she's done something. I think except the first one. I don't remember what the first one was.
She did the park on her first date, I believe.
What did they? Oh, they went and rode bikes. So she rode bikes. The next one she did a painting. The next one they went somewhere. That was with Charles. I think that's the only one that she just had a drink. Yeah. Sit down and drink with
And then
him.
I don't think she drinks.
Yeah, I don't either. And then this one, she went to the skating rink. And skated. And
which I think is adorable, although I don't skate anymore. But I think that like that's a great place to like get comfortable around somebody because you're gonna fall.
Yeah.
Even the best skaters fall.
Right.
And you get to have conversations, especially when it's empty.
Have you seen that dude that be on Facebook? He's like smooth like butter on the skating ring. I always wanted to be him, but I can't skate that way.
I don't know who that is.
Anyway, I don't know his name. But no, Ashley is cold in skating.
She is pretty good.
And the guy that she went out on the date with, what was his name?
Kwame,
can't skate as well. I mean, he's not as good as Ashley, but he can stay on his feet.
So when they all got back together, Hollywood did make mention that he felt like Tasha wanted to know too much about Ashley and not enough about him. And he learned that it ain't just about the booty. Yeah. Which Dr. Nicole said that in was it his last date or the date before that? He was talking about how he wanted to see some booty because booty is his favorite part. And then he gets with a woman that's got the butt and he's like, it's not just about the booty. Yeah. And it's like, there is a method to this. So at the ending of this, Hollywood decided that he's not going to go on a date with Tasha, which I wasn't surprised about because it felt like there was no connection. And then Ashley has decided for the first time to go on a second date with someone. Man,
did you see Hollywood's face? He was pissed. He was big mad.
I know there was an argument on the way home.
Oh, he was mad. It had to be composed. He couldn't lose it. Oh my God.
Could you imagine
a second date? And Ashley was nervous saying that too.
She was like, I think I want to go out again. Yeah.
Question mark, but exclamation mark. No, man. I think it's good, and I think that was necessary for them to actually figure out how this experiment is gonna work. Like you are gonna have to go out on a second date with somebody. Otherwise, you're just
And I think also with these second dates, I think it's important that the person who has the reservations, although in Ashley and Hollywood's situation, I feel like both of them have the reservations because Ashley was all in until he wasn't.
Yeah.
And then he's decided to be all in and now she's like, eh.
Yeah.
So I think it's important.
Which is understandable from her part.
Absolutely. But I think it's great for the person who has the reservations to make the connections because it lets them decide like, hey, I do want to explore other options or I did it and I really realized that I want to be with you.
Yeah.
So I think that part of it is good. And I'm happy that Ashley has made a connection with someone outside of Hollywood. I don't know if they're gonna be like,
I don't know either, but
if she's gonna leave Hollywood, but I'm happy that she's making the connections and at least exploring the options correctly.
Yeah.
So you got anything else for them?
No.
All right, last but not least, we get to Vince and Tamika. But go to the ending.
Okay.
And then we'll go back to the beginning. But Vince and Tamika had a fight.
Yeah.
10 minutes before they all came into the house. And I have been there. Obviously, you have been there. Where we've gotten into an argument and then we had to go and be around other people and like pretend like we're not mad. That is the hardest thing to do. So kudos to Vince and Tamika.
Right.
More so Tamika, because Tamika was big mad.
Man, she was pissed
about that situation. And apparently it is still going back to the same communication issues that they've had previously, where Tamika asks a question, Vince thinks that she means something else by the question, so he doesn't answer the question. Tamika then feels like Vince is hiding something. Blow up ensues. Yeah. And as Dr. Nicole said, they're going to have to figure out a way to communicate beyond I think I wrote it down. She says you're going to have to respond to what you heard, not what you think you'll hear. Yeah. And that's for Vince. Yeah. Because it seems like Tamika can ask a question and Tamika can say, what did you have for lunch? And he hears, who was the girl you was out to eat with? Yeah. And he needs to respond to the actual question, not what
Tamika must have did a number on this dude.
I don't believe that. And I'm going to tell you why I don't believe that. Vince is a gaslighter. Vince made this woman feel crazy. Yeah. Because he was out here talking to somebody else and the girl reached out to Tamika and he was like, you shouldn't have answered. Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
So I don't think that Tamika has done a number on Vince. I think that Vince has been a gaslighter for their situation and he is causing every fire in their relationship. Yeah. Not to say that Tamika's not playing her part in it, but he's definitely the gas and she just blew a flame. Yeah. Like she just was like...
She keeping it up though. She just closed the lid.
She is keeping it up. And I think closing the lid for them would be breaking up. Yeah. But that ain't my place to say that. Okay, so going back to their dates, Vince went on a date with Christina. We found out that they're both photographers. I didn't feel any connection besides photography.
I didn't get that. Did they go? Nah, I didn't. Like that was their date. That was it. You know, they kind of sat down with each other.
Me too.
Right.
Smile.
And then and then you go to Vince's little confessional thing. I think we connected on the real, you know, on a real level. We both were photographers. I was like, man, did you though?
No. So done with them too. Tamika went on a date with John Mark. Found out that they went to college together, probably about a decade apart. Yeah. Yeah. And they went to a wine tasting. I'm going to rewatch that episode to find out where the wine tasting was because I enjoy wine tastings. Yeah. And you don't always want to go to Dahlonega to a vineyard to go have a wine tasting. And John Mark spoke about not liking online dating, which apparently is what he's been doing to meet women.
Yeah.
I didn't know online dating was like popping like that during COVID.
Then what else are you gonna do?
I mean, but you still gotta go meet the person in person.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
But I mean, I know quite a few people that are online, like on Tinder and Plenty of Fish and all that stuff. So I guess maybe they are. They just don't tell me about their dating escapades now.
I honestly don't even remember Vince and Tamika's dates. I remember like the beginning of them, but it was like, what happened?
Well,
that's it.
And you're the one that told me about them both going to Clark because I had left out of the room during that part.
I remember that part. You know?
So that was pretty much all we got about their dates. Tamika did say that when John Mark talked, or when they were talking, she was like, it was like a breath of fresh air because she wasn't used to a man communicating with her well. Which, if they keep having the same argument over and over and over again that deals with communication, I can see her having an issue with someone communicating with her well.
Yeah. Yeah.
She did say also at the beginning of this episode that after sitting down with her parents, she did realize that she was going to have to stop comparing Vince to her dad.
Yeah.
And like take Vince for who he is. And I think that who he is pissing her off because they keep getting into the same arguments over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But on that one, Tamika said she is not going on another date with John Mark. And Vince decided that he was going to go on another date with Christina. So we have 3 people going on another date.
Yep.
Mike with his new girlfriend, Whitney.
Right.
Ashley is going out with Kwame.
Yeah.
And Vince is going out with Christina.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. Shea is also going on a date.
Yeah.
So Hollywood and Vince.
Hollywood and Tamika.
Yeah. Yes. Hollywood and Tamika are the only ones not going out on another date.
But nobody cares because Shea going out on a date, man. I think everybody. Well, I'm rooting for Mike and Whitney. So
I'm not necessarily rooting for Mike and Whitney. I am rooting for Mike.
Yeah.
Not to say anything bad about Whitney because we don't see a lot of her.
Yeah.
But I don't think that
you said he looked like Leon.
He does look like Leon. I don't think that Whitney needs to get entangled in all of that because even if they broke up tomorrow, they still have a lease together that they have to figure out and they have to separate their lives.
Yeah.
That's a lot for you to be in a relationship with a new person and them have to deal with. So completely like I'm team Mike in that part of it. Yeah. And if it just so happens that he and Whitney can like build a bridge and figure it out, I'm all for it. But I think that Mike needs to navigate his getting his child in the next year or however much time it is, a year or two. It's 2 years.
I don't know.
Because I think he said high school and his son is 12. So navigating everything with his child and all that. I want Ashley and Hollywood to navigate communication because that is what Ashley seems to be missing the most.
Yeah.
Every time she goes on a date, she talks about how well they communicate compared to Hollywood, which they have to. In the beginning, it's their representative. And their representatives always communicate well.
Right.
Hollywood, you learned that it's not just about the booty. I'm proud of you for that. And then Vince and Tamika. Vince needs to go get him some therapy. Tamika needs some too. But Vince needs to iron out why he communicates the way that he does.
Yeah.
Because if everything that is being said is true and he hasn't disputed it as being fact, he is the issue in their communication issues. And he's going to have to absolve himself of being that issue and navigate that. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Nope.
I'm gonna go watch Hollywood say booty again. And then I'm going to get online and book a trip to New Orleans.
You funny, man.
Get some beignets and some gumbo.
You funny.
All right, guys. Please subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell. Comment down below and let us know what you thought about this week's episode. Hope you guys had a happy and safe Turkey Day. Whatever that looked like for you and your family. Also, please turn on the notification bell if I didn't say that already, and follow us on social media. Bye, guys.
Peace.